2010, I had my big client and they wanted help in developing and designing a presentation that can persuade potential clients to buy the offerings. I had to meet with the CEO and his team of 6 leaders. I met them, we discussed it, I sketched out ideas, I gave them a flow that made sense, I talked about persuasion and connection and meaning. They just loved it and I was loving it too. Things were wonderful and the order was mine and I was to go back and design the slide deck and come back. I went back and began to pour everything into that presentation. I created something amazing and I was very proud of it. It took me 3 days to create it. And then I took the whole thing with me, went to meet the 6 people. I sat there and began to run them through the presentation. Slowly I saw faces becoming sober and serious and grim. We ended the presentation and every one of them walked out except the CEO. He called me over and then he said, "Ashley, we are disappointed. This is not what we wanted. You have let us down." I don't know what to say. Probably the emotion was visible in my face. He didn't say anything more. I left the room. As I drove back, powerful feelings of unworthiness flooded over me, and I began to feel, disillusioned, frustrated, angry with myself. I reached back home, collapsed on the bed, and I was literally a bag of nerves. I questioned my identity. I questioned my venture. I questioned my skills. I questioned my capability. I questioned my creativity. And I began to think of myself as a loser. And that's when some very powerful words from God breathed into me new life. I got up, I prayed, spent time in solitude, washed my face, and then called the CEO. And I asked him what went wrong. He explained all that went wrong. They loved the flow. They still love the flow. What they hated was the design. So I just took a few slides and asked him how would he visualize these slides in their final state. And these were all unique slides, data slides, opening slides, code slides, so on and so forth. And he explained it to me. How does he see it? And it was a bingo moment for me. I sat down after the call. In 3 hours, I completely redid the presentation. It was that easy. The earlier one took me 3 days. The new one just 3 hours. And I designed and sent it out to him. Within half an hour, I got a call from the client, the CEO, and they were loving it. There were a few things to tweak here and there, but this is exactly what they wanted and more. They were loving it. I learned 3 big things that day. Number 1, don't assume. Get clarity on every facet of the objective, not just on the big picture alone. Don't assume. Number 2, don't finish it fully. Take samples, unique samples, work on it, get feedback, and once you have a buy-in, go for it. When I did other works after this, I always gave variations and did random samples to have a complete buy-in before I worked on the entire project. Number 3, don't let feedback undermine who you are and what you do. The feedback is for the work at that point in time alone. It does not talk about everything you do. So listen to the feedback. Calm down. Ask yourself, what went wrong? How can I make it better? How can I give better value? Don't assume. Don't do things fully and immediately. And number 3, don't let feedback undermine who you are and what you do.